All right, so we have a review, the geometry. Okay, there we go. All right, so which of the following is the definition of lateral surface area? So remember, lateral is only on the sides. So is it the measure of the total area that the outside of the object occupies, including the bases? Or is it the measure of the total area of the outside of the object occupies, excluding the bases, or the amount of space an object occupies inside? So it's going to be excluding the bases. If you have no bottom, no top, no bottom, right? What does that mean? That means only the sides. So if you exclude the bases, that is lateral surface area. Okay? Which of the following is the volume? Okay? And again, it's the same answer choices, but it's the amount of space that an object occupies. Let's see here if I can zoom in a little bit. There we go. All right. So again, space. We think of the word space. That's 3D space. That's volume. Okay. Cool. All right, number 3, which of the following is the definition of total surface area? Now, if it's total surface area, you want to include the bases, okay? Including the bases, that's all sides, that's total. Okay, so there you go. Total at all the sides. All right, number 4, which of the following is an example of lateral surface area? Okay, so is it the label of a soup can, the amount of soup in the can, or the amount of aluminum used to make the soup can? Now remember, aluminum, that would include the bases. But the label is no bases. The label is just on the side. There's no label on the top, on the bottom. So if it's lateral, like we already talked about, lateral, no top and bottom, no bases, no sides, so that's got to be just the label. So lateral surface area is like the, pretend like this is a, soup label. That would only be on the sides. It's a really bad drawing. It is what it is. Whatever. Like an unraveling soup label. Okay. Number 5. Which of the following is an example of total surface area? So we don't want to just have a label. Okay. So not just a label. And surface area is not inside. Okay. So it's the whole aluminum. The amount of aluminum to make the whole soup can. The whole can is going to be the total surface area. Okay, so that's going to be letter C. Okay, number 6, which of the following is an example of volume? Same answer choices. This time it's going to be the soup in the can. If you're inside, that's going to be volume. Okay, so that's how it works out. We're talking about cans, volume, etc., etc. Let's talk about some of this stuff. Let's actually use this, and we're going to be using our formula chart. All right, so number 7, which of the following is the total surface area of the figure? Now, what is this figure right here? This is a cone. I made it weird to see. Okay, so we want a total surface area of a cone. So we're going to do that. So we're going to go down here to, total surface area of a cone, which is over here. Total surface area of a cone, pi r L plus pi r squared. So now, here's the deal. What is R? Okay, I need to know R and I need to know L. Okay, now this 24 is the diameter. Okay, so I need to know from here to here. Okay, that's the radius. So remember, if the diameter is 24, the radius is the diameter divided by 2. Right? So what's 24 divided by 2? Half of 24 is 12. Okay, and you could use a calculator to figure that out if you need to. Okay, but the radius is 12, not 24. Okay, now L, remember, L is slant height. Okay. So on the slant, from the tippy tip to one of the edges right there, that's my L. My L is 31. Cool. So all I'm going to do is plug it into this formula. Pi RL plus pi R squared. So pi, radius is 12, L is 31, plus pi, radius is 12, squared. Okay. So what I need to do is type this into my calculator. So I'm going to go to new document, don't save, number 1. Okay, so pi 1231. If you didn't know, the pi button is down here next to the letter H. You have to press pi button, and then you have to press enter to select it right here. So I'm going to hit enter. So there's pi, okay, and I'm going to do 1231 plus pi, enter, 12 in parentheses, and then don't forget to square it. Pi RL plus pi R squared. We get 1621.06. And since we're talking about millimeters, and since surface area is squared, it should be 1621.06 millimeters squared, which is going to be letter B. Cool. Number 7, total surface area of the pyramid below. Now, I need to find the total surface area formula of a pyramid. So if I'm here, pyramid, total surface area is 1/2 PL plus B. 1/2 PL plus B. Okay. Now, again, it's a pyramid. That's why I use that formula. So let's figure this stuff out. So P, the perimeter. Okay. I need to add up all 4 sides of the bottom square. 12, 12, 12, 12. Okay. So what's 12 plus 12 plus 12 plus 12? Another way to do it is 12 times 4. Gives you 48 feet. Okay. L, the slant height. Okay, from the tippy tip to the edge side. Okay, right here. This is my L. It's 23. And then my big B. Now, please remember, okay, big B is area of the base. Okay, so the question is, how do I find the area of a square? Well, it's length times width. 12 times 12, which is 144. If you know P, L, and B, you can plug in to 1/2 PL plus B. So let's do that. 1/2, instead of P, I'm going to put 48. Instead of L, I'm going to put 23. Instead of B, I'm going to put 144. Once you have it written out, calculator time. So here we go. 1/2. 1, control divide 2, go to the right. That's how you do 1/2. 48, 23, plus 144. Okay. I get 696 when I plug that in. Now, 696, that's measured in feet, and since we're talking about surface area, it's going to be squared. So, letter K. Cool. All right, moving on to number 9. Food manufacturer is planning to sell honey in a cylindrical, which is a cylinder, right? Cylindrical container. Okay, 6 centimeters in the diameter. If D equals 6, then the radius is D over 2. 6 over 2. What's half of 6? 3. So when we're talking about this bottom circle, from the center to the edge, the radius is 3. You have to cut the diameter in half if it's all the way across. Okay, so that's and then the height is 12. So a label will be glued to fit the surface. Okay, lateral surface area. What is the lateral surface area formula for a cylinder? Lateral surface area of a cylinder is 2 pi RH. Okay, so let's do that. LSA of cylinder is 2 pi RH. Now we already figured out R halfway, all the way across the diameter. Halfway is 3, so R equals 3. The height is labeled here already as 12. And that's all I need for this, r and h, right? So 2 pi, 3, and 12. 2 pi rh. Just plug it in our calculator here. So 2 pi, 3, 12. 2 pi, 3, 12. Plug it in, it gives me 226.19. Okay. Really, it would round to 0.2, but the closest answer we have is in this, centimeter squared, which would be letter D down here. Okay. So again, we're just finding what we need, go to the formula chart, and plug in stuff. Okay. Number 10, Mo is wrapping a gift in a rectangular box. Now, a box is a prism. Okay. So Mo is wrapping a gift in a rectangular box for his mother. We got a prism. What is the total surface area? So we got TSA, total surface area of a prism. Alright, so let's go ahead and find that formula. Total surface area of a prism. So prism, total, pH plus 2b. So let's figure this stuff out. The perimeter of the bottom. Okay, 11, 8, and then 11 and 8. You add up all four sides to get the perimeter. Okay, so what do we get? 38. Alright, there's P. The height, going up and down, over here, my height is 3. And remember, big B is area of the base. Right? So area of the base. How do I find the area of a rectangle? 11 times 8 is 88. So once we have P, H, and B, we can plug it into pH plus 2B. So let's do that. Okay. So 38 is my P, H is 3, 2, and then big B is 88. So if I can plug that in the calculator, I'll get my total surface area. So 38, 3, plus 2, 88. Then I get 290, and that's in inches squared. Okay. All right. You'll see the edit on your page already, but it should have been 290. My bad. So yeah, you definitely do get 290 using the right formula, which will be A, and I'll fix that. All right, number 11. Now this is what we've been doing the last 2 days. We're talking about this shape. It's called a sphere, right? So what's the surface area of a sphere? Let's take a look. Surface area of a sphere is 4 pi r squared. Okay. Cool. Now, if you look at it from the center to the edge, we already have it. R is 5. So we're just going to plug in 4 pi 5 squared. Okay. No big deal. 4 pi 5 squared. And we get 314.159, which is 314.16. And we're talking about feet. And surface area is squared. So that would give us letter C. Cool. Number 12. Now, we are transitioning into volume, okay, for the rest, I believe. So, let's talk about volume of a what? This thing is a pyramid. If you didn't know pyramids are pointy at the top, hopefully you know now. What is the volume of a pyramid formula? Pyramid, 1/3 big BH, okay? So let's do that. Volume equals 1/3 big BH. Okay, so let's remember big B is area of the base. So how do I find the area of a square? That's 12 by 12. Well, it's 12 times 12, which gives us 144. Do I know the height? Okay, now this is where it gets tricky. Okay, this is probably the trickiest one, because the height is not 23. Okay, h is not 23. Okay, so what do I have to do? If you go straight down, put a point right there in the middle, and you tell me halfway across, if all the way across is 12, isn't halfway across half of 12, which is 6. Okay, you're going to have to use Pythagorean theorem. Okay, so let's think of our right triangle down here, 6 on the bottom, 23 on the slant. Okay, this would be A, B, and C in Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. 6 squared plus, call it X squared equals 23 squared. Okay, so we can square these numbers. So 36 and 529 when I square them. Last two steps, I need to subtract. And then I need to get rid of a square with a square root. And that gives me 22.2, okay, from doing that. So my height up and down, 22.2. Okay. If you use 23, you might get something close, but it's not going to be perfectly what you need. That's kind of what we're hoping for, more perfectly what we need. So we know BH, let's plug it in. 1/3 big BH. Not bad. 1/3 big B is 144. H is 22.2. So 1, control divide 3, go to the right, 144, 22.2, gives us 1,065.6. Once again, I'm going to have this fixed on the document you have, but we'll go with letter D. Okay, it's supposed to be 1,065.6, and we did all the work right, and that's what it looks like. Okay, moving on. All right, number 13, volume of a cone. Right? How do you find volume of a cone? So volume of a cone is 1/3 BH as well. So volume equals 1/3 big BH. Now here's the thing. For a circle, big B is the area of a circle. So big B is going to be pi r squared. R is not 24. Halfway across is 12 still. So pi 12 squared. If I type that in my calculator, I get 452.39. Okay. And once again, to find the height, okay, we're going to have to use Pythagorean theorem. Okay. So we're going to do 12 squared plus x squared equals 31 squared. I'm running out of time, unfortunately. If you square root both sides, you get 28.58 for your height. Alright, so 1/3 BH is going to be 1/3 452.39 times 28.58. boy, that's not right. Okay. 4309.77. Cool. And we're talking about millimeters cubed, since volume is always cubed. All right. Oh, don't forget the cubes. All right. We just got a couple more. Number 14, volume of this figure, which is a what? Cylinder. So volume of a cylinder is going to be big BH for the volume. Big BH. And remember, big B for a circle, area of a circle, is pi r squared. R right here is 10, so pi 10 squared. If I type it in my calculator, I get 314.16. And then my height right here is 25. So all I got to do is 314.16 times 25. And I get 77,853.98 yards cubed, because we're talking about volume. Volume is cubed. All right, more. All right, talking about a sphere, volume of a sphere. The formula is 4/3 pi r cubed. Okay, 4/3 pi r cubed. The interesting thing is that we know r is 5. We just cannot forget to cube it over here. So 4/3 pi 5 cubed. So when I type it in, 4, roll, divide 3, go to the right, pi 5, caret, and remember the caret button's right here, 3. Type it in, and I get 523.6. 523.6 feet cubed, since we're talking about volume. And then last but not least, volume of a prism. It's a prism because it's a box-looking shape, so that's big BH. Big B is area of this right here. So it's going to be 7 times 16, which is 112. The height is over here, which is 23. So all I got to do is 112 times 23, and we get 2,576 centimeters cubed. And that is the review.